everybody, Sean O'Connor of Macabre Daily here, and I put together a rogues gallery for our first kickoff for Desert Island Discs, which I think we're going to do more of in the future if this isn't a complete and utter failure. So let me go around the horn with this cavalcade of handsome faces before me. We've got best-selling Bram Stoker Award-winning author Robert Ottone, whose new short story collection, Tear Me Open, releases when, Robert?
June 24th, the day before my anniversary.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, you should have led with the anniversary. You're in trouble now.
True.
Then we have two of the coolest guys that I have the pleasure of meeting, and I recently joined them on their podcast, Puppet Masters, Castle Freaks. We have none other than Jarrod Hornbeck and Steve Guntli, my two new friends.
What's going on? Thank you for having us. This is
Oh,
so
it's a
cool.
pleasure.
You
And then
just
we have
said
that
two
Grizz.
cool guys, and I thought you invited someone other than Steve.
Yeah, yeah.
You mean
I thought so too. Yeah.
our resident thespian Steve? We'll get to
Yes.
that.
It's true. It's true.
Then we have that grizzled old bastard up in the corner.
Wow.
Just kidding. One of my favorite people walking the planet, none other than Erik Hanson, the creator and the just pontificator of all things horror with Cradle to the Grave podcast, my absolute favorite podcast. If it's
Thank
not
you.
Puppet Masters Castle.
I've had all you fuckers on before.
Wow.
I know all you guys intimately. I know your secret desires.
All right,
But yeah,
let's,
thanks, Sean, for inviting me to come on
of
this
course.
awesome little get together. Being stranded on a desert island with you assholes is going to be awesome, man. Okay.
Can't do it without Hanson. Who are we going to eat first?
Oh,
All right. Desert Island Discs. It's pretty self-explanatory. You're on a desert island. You've got three movies that you can take with you for eternity, however long that may last. This Jarrod was cursing my name because this is hard to do. When you have to
Incredibly hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So we're gonna have some fun with it. We'll go around the horn. Everybody's gonna do their first, second, and third choices. But before we get to that, I will pick a person to try and guess what the next person's choice is gonna be. Give it a shot. I mean, you have a 1 in a billion chance. Let's see if we create some magic here. So let's start. Robert, I'm gonna start with you. I'm gonna go clockwise for what I'm seeing here. So let's start with your first disc, and you're the one who worries me the most. All three better not be Paddington in Peru. What do you got for the first one?
So this might be the most obvious one on my list, and I actually have it here. But yeah, if I'm stuck on a desert island, it's already going to be scary. But if I want to make it a little even, more scary, why not go with the scariest movie ever made, and that is The Exorcist.
Ooh, good choice.
I love both versions. However, I am a sucker for the version you never saw. Even Tarantino thinks that version is actually superior to the original, which is interesting because he's such a nerd for purism and whatnot,
Yeah.
and for feet. But I had to go with The Exorcist as my first pick. The 70s is the best era of cinema and art in general. So yeah, start with the best of all time.
All right, I like it. I like it. All right, Robert, we're gonna go with Jarrod next.
wait.
What?
I disagree that the version you never seen is better than the theatrical cut. I think the theatrical cut is perfect the way it is. It doesn't add all these subliminal
oh,
little
man.
neon demons behind the head. I don't like that. You know what? I think the Spider Walk takes it too far, but that's just me.
No, I'm with Eric on this one. I agree. I think the theatrical cut is the version to go with.
All right, I'm already seeing the factions splitting here on this desert island. Okay, pretty soon
It's gonna be Lord of the Flies pretty soon.
Yeah, who's gonna be worshiping the pig head first?
Oh, without a doubt, me. I've taught that book so many times. Oh my God.
All right, wait, hold on, you three. You want to see me set Robert off real quick?
Ooh.
They're doing a remake. Mike Flanagan and Father Merrill's going to be Glenn Powell.
I'd watch
Okay.
it.
Is
All
that
right.
real? Is that real? Are you joking or are you being
I'm
serious?
totally messing with you.
I was gonna say if they got that piece of white bread, boring ass shit in that movie, it's gonna be even worse. Oh my
I
God, I
don't know
fucking
when this
hate that
started
guy.
or why, but for some reason I feel compelled to troll you endlessly about Glenn Powell.
You know
I
what's really gonna hurt when DC casts him as Booster Gold? I will be on suicide watch. It's gonna be terrible because it should be Kumail Nanjiani, but it's gonna be that personalityless piece of shit. So, just go get Army Hammer. Just get him. He's
Man, the
better.
tangents have already started, haven't
I
they?
mean,
Killing me. It hurts my
All right,
heart.
come on, man. Hard 45.
yeah. This episode brought to you by not Glenn Powell's PR team, I'll tell you that.
I
Jesus.
have to be careful what I say. I'm in Austin, Texas. There's a chance he's in the room with me right now, so I have to be very careful.
Lucky you, Steve. All right. Jarrod, you're up next, but Robert, do you want to have a crack and just, put one out in the atmosphere? What do you think Jarrod's going to pick?
Jarrod likes the state. He's got the Pride Month Fangoria shirt on. He has a horror podcast. He's got a lot of tattoos. I feel like he's an 80s horror guy through and through. That feels correct for me. The slicked back hair. I'm going to say he might go with some. Can I give a general?
Sure.
I think he might have a slasher as one of his island favorites.
All right, Jarrod, what do you got for disc one?
That's accurate. Although I will say this is pushed back.
He's not a piece of shit.
I used to be.
Used to be a piece of shit.
No, you're absolutely right. And I will take this opportunity then to choose this particular. I wasn't sure what order I was going to do these in. This is a double disc of what I would now I will say, Sean prefaced before, really, really hard. So what I had to do in thinking, how do I even approach only taking 3 movies with me, is I'm going to take the phrase Desert Island disc very seriously.
Okay.
And it's like, what is the disc? What comes on the disc? Like, what's there? What kind of presentation of this movie is it?
I like it.
There's so many of them, but so this is really not definitive in any way. But I thought, all right, what's a movie that I love, but a disc that will scratch the itch of 2 different types of movies that I love? And for that reason, I have to go with the Shout Factory, Scream Factory double feature of Slumber Party Massacre and Slumber Party Massacre 2.
One disc.
It's that right there.
Disc.
That's the disc. I'm playing by the rules. Really, it would be for the first film because it's a movie that I really, really love. But this disc has a very interesting documentary about the making of that movie. And then if I'm in the mood for something really campy and really silly, it's got Slumber Party Massacre 2 right there.
Perfect. That's a perfect choice. Love it. And you game the system by getting 2 movies in there, but I can't fault you because it's one disc. Well played, sir. Well played.
I hate you, but God damn it, do I respect you.
Now, this is almost unfair though, Jarrod, because you're going to give a guess at what Steve may have, but you guys are partners, so you might have the inside track. Give it a go. What do you think he's got?
I have at least one that I think is going to really throw him, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to. Should I? I'm not sure if I should be obvious about this and do the one that I think, or should I take a stab in the dark at something I think he might have. I am going to take a stab in the dark. There's one I'm pretty confident I know what it is, but that's not what I'm going to guess.
Okay.
I'm going to guess a different one. I'm going to say it is a disc of The People Under the Stairs.
It was on the short list. It was definitely on the short list. It did not make the final 3 in the end, but you were very close. Yeah. That was definitely in the top 5.
Got it.
I always take these desert island questions way too seriously. Like first I was like, okay, what's the heaviest steelbook I could get if I need to bash a boar's head? What's the most reflective disc if I need to start a fire? Once I got out of that obnoxious headspace, I was still trying to think of like, okay, I'm stuck on this island for an indeterminate amount of time. What's a movie I would have not seen very much that I would like to watch more without it like being without it like getting tiring, like I don't want a movie that I've seen 100 million times necessarily. There is one of those in my list, but so for the kind of obscure, like I want to rewatch this movie a lot take, it's a film I've only seen one time, but it made a big impression on me. And that is Jack Shoulder's The Hidden. starring
Ooh,
Kyle MacLachlan and
Great
Michael
movie.
Nouri. A movie I watched once. I thought this movie fucking slaps, and I keep forgetting to watch it more because it's just not like readily available on streaming services. But that was a movie that I'm just like, I love every part of this. I love the whole vibe of it. It's crazy, it's weird, it's funny, it's exciting. This is a movie I'd be excited to like settle down with my I'm assuming portable DVD player on an island, whatever I made out of a coconut, and watching The Hidden. So that's gonna be my first pick, The Hidden.
Wow.
Good one.
solid choice. I like that a lot. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, yeah. I told see. I told you it was gonna be a twist on that one. Yeah, that was kind of a game day decision.
All right, Steve, have a crack at Eric. All his choices are going to be Nosferatu, but have a guess.
Various different forms of Nosferatu. Yes. Um. Okay, I'm gonna take a stab and say that Eric is going to have at least one of like the mainstream like horror icon like characters. I think you're gonna have a Freddy on there, and I think you're
Okay.
gonna have Freddy 4. I'm swerving.
I went. My first pick is Ginger Dead Man 2: The Passion of the Christ. Just kidding.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
You could do
Can't wait till we
worse.
all watch it together.
You could do
Didn't
worse.
see that coming, did you guys? Huh?
Sure didn't.
No, man, no. So again, like with Steve, I took this assignment seriously, as if I am really going to be stranded on a desert island like Tom Cruise in Castaway. I'm going to be talking to a soccer ball for the rest of my life,
Tom
right?
Hanks.
I don't want to watch a horror movie
Volleyball.
that's going to depress me like The Exorcist, Robert. I'm sorry. I love The Exorcist, but it's depressing. It's sad, right? I want something that's going to be that gives me hope and makes me happy because I'm already sad as fuck being stuck on this desert island by myself with a soccer ball, eating coconuts and crab. Tired of it.
Yeah.
So I picked movies that I have we in my own personal life have rewatched over and over and over and over again and never get tired of it and make me happy.
I
So
know
the
it
first pick is The Wolfman from 1941. I watch this every Halloween. Every Halloween night. I watch it and never get tired of it. It's a beautifully shot movie. It's got the gothic setting, right? It has great performances. Lon Chaney Jr. The transformation was pretty cool for 1941. It's just a great movie. I have a blast watching it. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. When I'm stuck on a desert island, I want to feel warm and fuzzy. So that's my pick.
Oh, I like that
Love
one.
it. Love it.
All right, we got some Universal on there.
Yeah.
All right, Eric.
Oh, I didn't get to pick what Sean
Yeah.
O'Connor picked.
You know me pretty well. What do you think?
You picked Jaws.
I was going to.
Oh.
Going to.
Mhm.
When I put this together, I was like, all right, well, obviously, number one movie is going to be Jaws. And Robert, I was like, I'm looking at you because that's going to be my guess for your next movie. I'm already saying it right now. It's going to be Jaws because I know that you love that movie just as much as I do. But then I started thinking, again, we were taking this way too seriously. I'm on an island. Do I really want to watch Jaws every day and freak myself completely out? I was like, no, I
point.
can't do that, even though it is my favorite movie. So I pivoted and I was like, all right, what's the rewatchability factor? What could I just watch endlessly? And that movie is An American Werewolf in London.
Good choice. Good choice.
I should have totally pranked you guys and said American Werewolf in Paris, and then I would have just seen the screens go blank one by one.
Tom Everett Scott.
Yep. I mean, but I will go down saying that I think that controversial opinion, but I think the lead actor should have flip-flopped their roles. I really would have loved to have seen Griffin Dunn in the David Naughton role as David.
Hard agree. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I
Mhm.
love Griffin Dunn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more charismatic, So, but anyway, it's
Yeah.
perfect. It's my second favorite film of all time. But Robert,
But Sean, that ending's a downer, man. Aren't you gonna be like crying every time you watch American Werewolf in London on the desert island by yourself?
I'm literally going to die in 14 days on this stupid island. I'm already crying.
Oh, okay.
How's that ending a downer, man? How can you have a frown on your face when you hear bomb, 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 bomb?
Kinda true.
That
Such
ending
a
fucked me
drastic
up
smash cut
as a
to that
kid.
song too.
As a kid, and when I watched that for the first time, I didn't know what the fuck just happened. I'm like, what? Yeah, it threw me, and it still throws me. That ending, like, yeah.
Best smash cut ending of all time? What do you think?
It's up there.
Yeah. Robert, I'm going Jaws for my guess for you. What do you got for your number two?
Hate to disappoint, because we're outside of the genre now,
Oh,
but my next pick, My Dinner with Andre.
okay.
Ooh, okay.
Never
Uh,
said it had to be horror.
It's true.
I watch My Dinner with Andre a lot. Anytime I put on My Dinner with Andre. It makes me laugh. It makes me think. It makes me like a little sad because I like how New York looked back then in
Sure.
1981 or 1980, 1981. And yeah, it's just kind of the perfect movie. Everything about it's perfect. And also, as everyone, well, not everyone, but as people who know me know, I'm a big Criterion guy. And I need something from the most immaculate collection in movie history on the island with me. I just need to see that little C in the upper left-hand corner of the disc to know that comfort is right there. So it's My
Mhm.
Dinner with Andre.
I
They
love
should
it.
do that with you and Todd Kiesling. I would pay all my monies to see
Todd
that.
doesn't go to places that don't serve Happy Meals. He doesn't. It's like, if the meal doesn't come with a toy, he's not going.
I'm gonna leave that there because Todd's bigger than me.
He's huge. He's a giant monster, man.
Wait,
All
wait,
right.
wait, 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 wait. Wasn't the rules this has to be a horror movie?
No, I never said horror movie.
It was
Said
implied.
Desert Island Disc.
Hmm.
Okay,
California,
I
suck
need to
it.
start over again.
This is restructuring the list completely. All right. So number one and number two are Legally Blonde.
None of you brought a number two pencil to this test.
It's
Oh,
funny because I wrestled with that a little bit too, and it led to kind of a game day decision on my list also, because I was like, man, he didn't say horror, but the implication is horror, and it's like I know, even getting it within the genre was really hard, and I went, can I go outside the genre? And I said maybe I'll tangentially sort of go outside the genre, maybe, but not really, and you'll see what I mean in a second when I give my second choice, but this was one that I unfortunately had to sacrifice my favorite movie of all time for in
Mm.
order to include here.
ooh,
Huh.
I'm
Is
intrigued.
he guessing still, or are we done with that part?
No, we're done with the guessing round.
Okay.
Let's just have it.
Well, it's interesting that Robert mentioned Criterion because I don't collect as many of the Criterion stuff as I used to when I was more about like having a collection of movies that showed that I had good taste or anything like that. The collection I have now of movies says largely otherwise. Um, but I was like, yeah, Criterion means something to me too. And I was like, my favorite movie of all time is Halloween, John
Mhm.
Carpenter's Halloween. I've seen it so many times though. I've got it up here. I
Okay.
don't really need to watch it if I'm being honest. And I thought, but if there is something I've seen a lot of times that checks the box kind of outside the genre, so I don't just, watch these movies to death, it would be the Criterion collection of Mulholland Drive.
Ooh,
Mm,
Just
mhm.
just barely didn't make my list. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so no sleight of hand here with the discs. Although I will say the Criterion box has multiple discs, so maybe I can only take the disc with the movie on it
yeah.
from the box set. But yeah, I thought about it and I said this is horror adjacent. It's often in conversations about horror movies without being a conventional one in a lot of ways, but it is a movie that I find endlessly fascinating, endlessly rewarding. I think it not only holds up to many rewatches, but also I find something new with it every time I watch it, and I never get tired of trying to dissect it and trying to figure it out. And I think that'll be enough to keep my brain occupied for a little while, at least on this desert island. So I kind of went outside the genre, but not really.
no, I did. Look, it everything is allowed, but I love that you're bringing Lynch to the island. That's fantastic.
Just be sure to turn on my audio commentary. I recorded it in a Bob's Big Boy.
That's not a bad impression there,
That
Steve.
upsets my dog every time I do
better.
David Lynch. Yeah.
It's better than a Winkies. I don't like what's going on behind that place.
Yeah, I don't like it, Winkies. Yeah, yeah.
All right, Steve, what do you got for us?
All right. Yeah. I mean, obviously, look, we're on a desert island. Like you said, I'm not built to survive on a desert island. I'm barely built to survive in a city with, convenience stores nearby. So I'm not going to last that long on this island. I'm going to need a little something lighthearted to kind of take my mind off of things. Sticking within the horror milieu, I have to select what I think is the best horror comedy of all time. Various opinions may differ, but I'm going to go with Shaun of the Dead. I'm going to be watching Shaun of the Dead. Why not bring that with me? A movie that's very, very like deceptively layered. It's got kind of this cool mirrored script where like everything that happens in the first half of the movie is recontextualized in the second half of the movie. It is one of those movies that I find something new in every time I watch it. So that'll kind of help pass the time until bores eventually eat me. And Shaun of the Dead is the second one on my list.
All right, hold on, Steve. I got to talk to you about the Cornetto trilogy real quick.
Please.
Put them in order. I mean, we know your favorite, but how about the other two?
Oh, well, actually, World's End is my favorite, but I didn't include that in the horror. I guess, you could probably shoehorn it in there. It's kind of got sci-fi horror elements, but in keeping with the spirit of the desert island, I went with Shaun of the Dead. But it does go World's End, Shaun, Hot Fuzz is my list.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is a fun idea for a premise for a show, Sean, because I've done hundreds of episodes of podcasting with Steve. I would have never in a million. You could have given me 100 guesses. I would have never picked Shaun of the Dead.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Weirdly, it has not come up very often on our show. But
I have nothing against it,
get...
and I don't dislike it or anything. I just didn't realize you held it in such high regard.
I adore that movie. Weirdly, we don't talk about zombies much on our show at all.
It's just not Charles Band adjacent.
Yeah.
But I
not really. He's not interested in it.
6 degrees of separation, you could find it, I bet.
You can. Yeah, you can get there. Yeah. But that's my number 2.
Nice. All right, Eric, what you got for us?
All right. First, I need to address all the cheating that's happening in this Zoom.
He's such a stickler for the rules.
Playing under protest.
First of all,
he's trying to maintain the dignity of this association.
First of all, Sean
here.
O'Connor, you work for Macabre Daily, which is a horror website. You invite me, Cradle to the Grave podcast is a horror podcast. You invite Steve and Jarrod, who have a horror podcast. You invite Robert Ottone, who writes horror novels. But you can pick any movie you want. What the fuck? No, man.
Everyone gets a trophy, Eric.
There's nothing in the rule book that says a dog can't play basketball.
Jarrod, I pick a movie that has 2 movies on it. Just one. I don't know, man.
That's
this is bullshit.
Choice. He's thinking. He's playing 4D chess, and we're playing checkers.
Exactly.
I almost did the same thing. I literally had my It's Halloween 4, 5, 6, and Resurrection in my hand. I was like, this is 4 fucking movies on one.
I have a disc that has the best of Stephen King, right? It's got like 4 Stephen King adaptations on it, but I didn't pick that because I'm played by the rules, man.
You could have.
Mm.
It would have been within the parameters of the rules.
He's
the only rules
when
are,
he did that,
there are no rules.
I got so charged up when he said, "Oh, I have this disc. It's too much." I was like, "Motherfucker! I should have done that. I should have trusted my gut. This guy knows the score."
All right, second pick. Of course, I'm surprised nobody thought I was going to pick this one. Salem's Lot from 1979.
That's the one I said I know one of them.
Come on.
Oh, the good one, not the new shitty one.
No, not the one with Bill Pullman in it or Bob Pullman.
Must admit here, have not seen it. I've never seen that miniseries.
Oh,
it's a big gap for me. I've read the book. I love the book. I've never seen that miniseries. Yeah,
it's a miniseries. It's dated.
Sure.
But I think it has some of the most genuine scares of any movie ever that still have an impact on the horror genre today. I mean, the kid floating outside the window, the vampire kid, that still is effective. There's a lot more great scenes in this miniseries, and it's like 3 hours long. So, hey, when I'm stuck on that desert island and I need to, find something to do for 3 hours, I'm gonna throw on Salem's Lot. I never get tired of watching this movie. Again, I've seen it so many times, and every time I love entering into the town of Salem's Lot. So, of course, I'm gonna go with my favorite vampire movie of all time, Salem's Lot.
Son of
Excellent
a bitch.
choice.
That's
You're representing a lot of like the classic like creepy ghoulies on your island. You've got a wolf man and you've got a vampire, so I'm loving that.
Yep.
Dude, I don't know what to do. I should do an audible because Salem's Lot was my number 2.
Really?
Ooh.
I was wondering if that was going to happen.
I forgive you for not
Everything?
explaining the rules.
for making this up as I go along. Salem's Lot is easily the best TV miniseries in my opinion. It's got everything that you need. It's got like that the Peyton Place, injected with vampires, with that good Stephen King, like borderline schmaltz, but he pulls it off, and and it's nostalgic as hell. And James Mason, I'll
Mm.
go down in history just claiming that James Mason galactically motherfucking this town into oblivion is one of the best things that's ever been put on film. And he's having so much fun in the
Oh
role.
yeah.
And then that iconic very simple makeup for Straker still chills me to the bone. I mean, the second I see it, I'm 9 years old again. And I love a movie that can do that. So, yep. All right. All right, Eric, you and I, Salem's Lot. Let's see if we can
Yes.
get our third choice.
Come on, Robert. Pick Sam's Lot.
All right, take us home, Robert. This is your third pick.
Okay, so can I do ones that I had ready to go in case I didn't do my final pick?
Of course.
But I agree with Jarrod with this one. I could replay it in my mind. Obviously, Halloween. Um, couldn't. It's a good way to put it. I've seen it so many times I could play it in my mind. Same thing with this one, Sean.
Yeah.
Jaws.
Yeah.
And also same thing with this one, The Dark Knight. I would also have as a desert island choice if I was allowed to do more. However, I have one final pick. And it continues my obsession with the 70s. I think that this is this director's best movie, without question. Everything else is the buzzing of flies to this. It's the greatest true crime movie ever made, and it is Zodiac.
Amazing
movie.
choice. Yeah,
Eric,
I
absolutely
agree.
great movie.
Should have seen
Eric,
that coming.
for sure.
That is Fincher's masterpiece. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad you agree. Yeah, no, I am, because everyone's always like, "Oh, what about Fight Club?" And it's like, cool, I'm not 12
What?
anymore.
Yeah,
This doesn't
yeah.
move me.
I have since gotten laid. I don't need Fight Club anymore. Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
I don't want to build a house or paint a self-portrait. I bought a house, and that's enough. But
Steve,
yeah, no,
I think you just named the
title for the episode.
I have since gotten laid. I don't need-
Yeah, that's the stinger right there.
All right, I got to call out two things before we go to Jarrod. I got to call out two things. First is Eric, please promote Death Machine because
Huh?
it's
Oh,
perfect
Yeah.
correlation.
speaking of the Zodiac, there
Which
is
I
my
love.
book. It is called Death Machine. It is about my childhood growing up in the 80s satanic panic, and then I threw in the Zodiac Killer for good measure. So check it out on Amazon.
Amazing.
Oh, it's so good,
Yes.
incredible author.
Awesome.
But Robert, I got to ask you, you are kind of like the ultimate Halloween 456 fan.
Mhm.
Have you ever
Apologist.
done a podcast defending that?
Mine.
Well, yeah, but was it all four I mean, all three of those films, or was it just four? Halloween 4?
I love all three. I love Halloween. Of the three, Halloween 6 is my favorite, and then I think 4 is a better movie, but 6 is my favorite of the three. So
We
for me,
gotta
it goes
carve
6,
out
4,
some
5.
time.
But I find something to enjoy in 5 every time I watch it. I really have a hard time not liking Dominique Othon and Jarrod having the guts to just be like, yeah, fuck it, throw it in the movie. Who cares? Like, I kind of like that. I like when guys do that. It's so
See,
exciting.
as someone who does not like that trilogy, I would be very interested in hearing a podcast episode, each maybe 3 episodes devoted to each one, or one episode where you covered all three, hearing someone defending them, because I really would love the perspective of people who like them, because I feel like maybe it's coincidental, like the company I keep and the people I talk to are kind of hive mind about that, but I don't like those movies, and I've revisited them many times and they just don't do it for me. I'm very curious, like, to hear someone's opinion who would really champion them, particularly Halloween 6, because I mean, well, let me ask you then, Robert, uh, theatrical or producer's cut?
I do like both, but I'm more interested in the producer's cut.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one too. That's definitely like of those three, I agree. 6 is the one I would watch the most. I think that one is fascinating. 4 and 5 are like, okay, and then 6 is just fascinatingly bizarre.
6 producer's cut feels like there's more connective tissue to the original than the other two. Whereas the other two feel very much products of their time. 6, at least, the producer's cut tries to do things that harken back a little more strongly to the original movie, including using the original score.
Mm.
Um,
Hmm.
and it's just a more fascinating watch. It's a better experiment than the one that we got. But if anybody wants to take me up on doing a series come October, 4, 5, and 6, I will go to the mat for all three of those movies.
I'm
I would hear that. Yeah.
Robert, I'm assuming you read Dustin McNeil's Taking Shape 2 book.
I've read both, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Is
love
I
those. Those books
I
are
love
amazing.
reading about the ones that didn't get made.
Yeah.
Also
The
fascinating to
biggest
me.
crime, truly the biggest crime is not getting that Lost Halloween 4 where it was going to bring back Tommy uh, and what's her face? Oh my God.
Lindsay.
Thank you, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Bringing back Tommy and Lindsay as teenagers and giving Michael Myers like a real supernatural thing. However, we did sort of get that with Halloween Ends. So in some way, we sort of got it, but not really.
Yeah, that's like the monkey's paw version, you know. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Somebody ordered that movie on Temu.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
take
with
it.
Jarrod though. I would love for you to get the chance to really state your case for those three movies. So we'll put that out there, and if no one bites, then Macabre Daily will be doing an expose in
Well,
Let's
October.
do
and
it.
now that I have the opportunity, I have to say this because Robert, I heard someone reference this in conversation, use your name in saying this. One of the podcasts we recorded with either Sean or with Eric or someone, you and I have a mutual hatred of a movie, if I'm understanding correctly,
What movie
which
is that?
is Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Oh, I am actually I don't hate Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
I actually
I
don't that much anymore
I
either.
bet
I've
it was Lowell
softened
who
my
said that.
position.
I bet it was Lowell Greenblatt who said that because he's
Ah,
the
Yes, yes.
resident Freddy fan.
I don't like Freddy in general. Like
oh,
I find the idea of laughing and rooting for a child molester, child murderer repulsive. However, I do understand, like I do recognize like the impact it had, but
yeah.
I will never own those movies. I do like Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I think it's interesting.
Oh,
And
see, I must have misunderstood, or maybe Lowell was wrong in saying that because I thought it was you he
It
mentioned,
was
and I
it
was like, I
was
have an
Nat
ally.
Cassidy. It was Nat Cassidy.
Oh, it was
He
Nat.
came on my
Oh,
show and we talked
So
about Wes Craven's New Nightmare and he hates the fuck out of it.
no.
And then
I've
Lowell ran into him at some event and questioned him about his hatred for Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I think Lowell likes Wes Craven's New
That's
Nightmare.
what it
is
was,
it?
Robert. You must have been named
Yeah.
in the list of people who were part of a discussion about something, and I'm conflating what I heard about Nat with you.
You
So
caught some crossfire on
I
this one.
did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Mm.
yeah, sorry about that.
Those are-
Yeah, I don't hate it so much anymore, but I had really if you would have asked me 10 years ago, man, I could have gone on. There's that meme where it's like, why do you love this movie? And then it's like
Mm.
the 6 hour voice
Yeah.
memo under it.
Yeah.
Like that would have been me talking out of school against Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I've softened in my old age.
You got to give us your third pick, Jarrod. You're not done talking yet, pal.
So my
It's Wes
third,
Craven's New Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, that was really all just a long con setup for my third pick. No, and then I realized I have to be kind of true to myself. And, you know, there were a lot of things that didn't make the cut, and it's not a reflection of how I feel about the movie. Like, I love John Carpenter's The Thing. It didn't make my three Desert Island discs because I was just like, I love it so much, but I'm kind of want to, you know, well at that point I think I already had Halloween in it, and I wanted someone besides Carpenter represented. But I was like, I do have to stay true to myself. So I had, as much as I wanted Return of the Living Dead or My Bloody Valentine or Night of the Creeps or those, I'm like, those are, you know, rounding or Demons. Those are rounding out my like top 10.
Hmm.
I would be a liar if I said I didn't have to take the beautiful Ignite Films 4K of Reanimator
Of
that
Mhm.
just
course.
came out 2 months
Should have
ago.
known. I should have known.
It has to be. It has to be.
Yes,
I would
yes.
be. It would be very. How should I say this? It would be false and it would be disingenuous of me if I gave you a three that didn't have that movie on it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing really else to say other than like I can't like and it's given such amazing treatment here that it's like it's the best it's ever looked, it's the best it's ever sounded, it's got the best features
Have
on here.
you
And so
ever spoken to Barbara Crampton?
oh
Was she
yeah.
Mhm.
She was, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, she was on our show. Yeah.
Eric, did you ever have Barbara Crampton on yours?
No, no.
Mhm.
That'd be a good get. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
a
she's amazing. She's the coolest.
Matt Orozco just spoke to her, just interviewed her, and just said she was the loveliest person ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, she is.
Um, I'll throw my third disc out there. And you know what? It is going to be John Carpenter's The Thing.
Knew it.
It is my favorite horror movie. It is a movie I do not get tired of. And again, like we said, I'm on a short clock if I'm on a desert island. So if I time it just right, that's the last movie I ever watch. So not a bad way to go out.
All right,
Well,
Steve, hold on one sec. Childs, a thing at the end, not a thing at the end.
Oh man. Okay. So I can answer this having recently finally played the video game all the way through.
Ooh, okay.
Childs is not a thing. McCready is.
Nice.
According to that video game, canonically in the video game, McCready, who saves your video game character at the end of that game, is somehow shockingly still alive, and it's because he is a thing, and he has a helicopter now. So I can answer that. Yeah, I don't know how much they consider that the canon, but given how much John Carpenter loves video games, I bet he's fine to embrace that.
he's got a thing in his will that when he's gone, his son is going to release whether or not one of them was the thing. That's for real.
That's amazing. I love that.
I refuse to accept that.
What, the video game
Or the
That
fact that- or the fact
McCready
that-
is a thing at the end. No,
that video game is good.
It's good. It's
Yeah,
solid.
it's
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and there's a really good like remastered version out right now. So yeah, definitely check that one out if you're gonna
Does
play
it still have the saliva song that plays over the credits? Because that was terrible.
Oh, it sure does. Yeah,
Oh,
but you know what? You can skip right past it. You can skip
Thank
right
God.
past it, just like much of Saliva's career.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, what do you got, my man?
All right. No, I'm glad the thing showed up. I'm glad American Werewolf in London showed up. Like I love these films. I love rewatching them. Again, the only reason I didn't pick The Thing or American Werewolf in London is because of the downer endings, right? Like
Yeah.
I want a movie that when it's over, I just feel really good about that. That was such an amazing journey. So for my last movie,
Sallow.
I picked the greatest sequel of all time, James Cameron's Aliens, right?
Oh, amazing choice.
Never get tired of Aliens. It is a perfect film. There is not
Yes.
a misstep in this film. I can't praise this film enough. I mean, say what you want about Cameron, right? And his work ethic or whatever. Like he's kind of a dick. The guy's a genius,
Yeah.
and he knows how to create movies. He's an artist. Some of his drawings are amazing, right? His paintings. This guy, he puts it all out there on the screen, and he demands perfection. And I think he got it with Aliens. It is one of my favorite films of all time. So that's my last and final pick, Aliens.
Good pick.
All
That's
right,
a
but
great
wait,
pick. Yeah.
Eric, director's
Ah.
cut or
No, I'm glad you asked that because I am not a proponent of director's cuts. There's only one case where I think director's cut does work, and that is with Doctor Sleep, right? I think the director's
Okay.
cut is far superior, but I don't like the director's cut of Aliens. I think it's unnecessary. For the most part, give me theatrical version every time.
okay.
I do. I think I prefer the assembly cut of Alien 3, but I go
Yes.
back and forth
Oh,
on that
yeah.
because like you could make the argument that the stuff that they add in there like does lift out pretty cleanly, but at the same time it does fill a lot of plot holes, gives you a
Mhm.
lot more time with these
That's a
characters
good.
so
That's a
that you
good
give a
case.
shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like yeah, I think it's a more cohesive film for sure.
And-
But Aliens 3 was snatched out of Fincher's hands, man.
Absolutely.
So even the theatrical cut wasn't what Fincher wanted. Like, so I don't know.
I go to bat harder for Alien 3 than just about anybody on the planet. It is kind of a miracle that theatrical cut came out as watchable as it is, given how fucked
Hey,
that
man,
production was from moment one. But yeah,
Grady Hendrix came on my podcast and he went to bat for Alien 3. He's a big proponent,
hell yeah.
fan
See,
of that movie.
see,
So, yeah.
knew I liked that guy.
And I
Yeah.
will go to bat for another director's cut, which will bring us as far away from horror as we've maybe been in this entire conversation. I prefer the director's cut of Milos Forman's Amadeus over
Oh,
the theatrical
okay.
cut.
I don't
Because
think I've seen the director's cut of that.
There's a scene in it where Costanza goes to Salieri basically asking Salieri to look at Mozart's work, and he basically blackmails her by having her like get naked and stuff. And it helps to explain why she has such a bad opinion of Salieri. Because if you watch it in the theatrical cut, that's never addressed, and it seems a little kind of out of nowhere. Like you have to kind of do some inferring as to what might have happened, but it's shown to you. And then there's another kind of funny scene where it's just kind of showing these ridiculous things he had to do for employment at the time. It's about 20-ish minutes that are the difference between the theatrical and director, and I like the director's cut.
Okay.
Right, nice. All right, gang, I'm going to bring us home, and I'm going to make it quick, clean, and easy because Jarrod's got a bolt, and that's going to be Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
Oh, good
I love that
choice.
movie so much. And I'm not going to a desert island without Tom Atkins. I just won't do it.
No.
Well, because he's going to have a 6-pack of High Life. Like he's just going to make it fun.
He's wearing a jacket made of flasks. Somehow it's more flask than jacket at this point. It's just he's got mixers.
I like being able to find my doctor at the bar down the street after he's had sex with at least 3 nurses.
At least.
Tom Atkins is just the man. He is just man. So anyway, that's my last pick. Spoiler alert, guys. We all died after 72 hours. We barely had a chance to watch any of these films.
Well,
I went crazy after the
it,
first 35 minutes, and I'm smearing berry juice and blood all over myself. I'm going full fucking nutbag on that island.
Yeah, but you know what? If that's true, we have a pretty sick marathon of movies to watch before we all go.
I died happy.
It's true.
We did. We didn't suffer. Thank you all so much for coming on here. This was fun as hell.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Erik, I can promise you there will never be steadfast rules. We're just going to wing these.
I can respect that. There's no rules on my podcast either. So, hey.
There you go.
I forgive you.
I just want to go around the horn real quick. Robert Ottone's got a fantastic new short story collection coming out. Tear Me Open?
Yes.
Robert? Tear Me Open. I want to make sure I got the title right. 22 stories. They
Something
are
like that.
Bangers.
21, 20. I don't even know.
Oh, I give you a bonus story in there. Puppet
Thank
Masters, Castle Freaks. If you're not listening to this podcast, I do not know what you're doing with your life. These are the 2 most dynamic people on the planet. They know everything about Charles Band. Every single episode is as fun and fact-filled as you could possibly want. And even if you do not know anything about Full Moon Features or Charles Band, you're going to learn something and you're going to be highly entertained. And then my buddy up there in the corner, Cradle to the Grave. I mean, the master of ceremonies, Erik Hanson, but also an accomplished author in his own right. We have Death Machine, and I'll put the Robert and Erik, I'll put the link to your novels in the show notes. But we also have Wake of the Mariner coming up. Get to work on that damn novel, dude.
I know. I got to stop talking about movies and write more.
Well, don't do that either. I mean, can I have it all? Erik, I can't wait to read that novel. I'm so excited.
You'll be one of the first, dude. That's coming your way.
And as always,
you and Robert
Grave is hands down one of the best podcasts out there.
No, dude,
yes,
come on now. No, my podcast is so unprofessional, dude.
Well, that's
I was making this shit up as I go along, man.
Yeah, you do it so well.
We all are.
Then, I'm having a blast with my gig at Macabre Daily.
And Fear on Film with Joe.
Joe Velasquez would be so pissed at me right now for not mentioning.
Yeah.
Fear on Film, it comes out monthly. We're actually gonna get into Final Destination Bloodlines. It will release on the 13th, Friday the 13th.
Hey.
Nice.
Handsome gentlemen, until we meet again, go enjoy your Sunday, and thanks again for coming on.
I should before we go, I should say there was talk about the Thing video game and the Thing movie and that how they work together. So Steve, plug Cinema Arcade also.
Oh, thank you. Yes, Cinema Arcade, the podcast I have. We watch movies and play video games based on the movies. So we have a whole ton of a really eclectic mix, including an episode on the Thing, if you want to listen to that one.
Oh, sorry.
Robert Jesring, if you want to come on the show, dude, we will welcome you on. Yeah, we have so many.
No big deal. I've just written about horror video games forever. No,
have you really?
Don't have me on or anything. That's fine. I'm a shitty podcast guest, I guess.
Literally just met you. Literally just
I'm
met
not
you.
on Puppet Taskmasters and Castle Freaks. I'm not on the video game.
Well,
thing.
listen,
This is
we've
bullshit.
all been through something here.
Oh,
So
wait.
now we're so much closer.
Jarrod,
Forged-
before you split, dude, come on, let's promote you're going to be at Lucky 13. Let's talk about that real quick.
So I don't have enough information to plug that yet. I don't know exactly when that's going to be. I'm going to be introing a screening for Brooklyn Horror Society at Lucky 13, probably in July. It is going to be for a movie that I'm a huge champion of for what Brooklyn Horror Society is kind of dubbing their Summer of Sleaze. Again, this is subject to change. So this information will try to be more up to date as it comes out and a date and stuff like that. A movie that I love that Steve only saw for the first time through me, an underrated, forgotten 80s gem called Out of the Dark, which I will be introducing to a group of people who I'm sure will never have seen it. And I'm really excited to do that. So whenever, so we can amend this and put a date in there in socials at some point. But thank you, Sean, for bringing that up, because that's going to be a lot of fun.
I plan on being on the front row making faces at you as you introduce the movie.
Love it. I'd have it no other way.
So you're the one who got my July date for that pushed back. Got it.
Okay, guys, on that note, I got to run.
Yeah.
Bye.
Everybody have a great night. Thank you so much for coming on. And we're
Bye,
definitely
Sean. Bye, Robert. Bye,
Thanks so
Steve.
much for
Bye,
having
Bye,
us.
everyone. This was
See
fun.
y'all.
Thanks a lot, guys.